Hello, I'm Cleopatra Wallace, and this video is about Ronnie O'Neal. Now, Ronnie recently came into light because his murder trial started yesterday, and he's representing himself, and he's quite the character. So, spirit guides, holy angels, and ancestors, help us find the energy of Ronnie O'Neal. We want his energy for March the 18th of 2018. And we are in Tampa Bay, Florida, in Hillsborough County. We are at the address of 13248 Pike Lake Drive. We are at the address of 13248 Pike Lake Drive in Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County, and it is 8 o'clock. Now, Spirit, I would like to see what was going on inside of 13248 Pike Lake Drive at 8 o'clock between Ronnie O'Neal and Kenyatta Barron. Alright. So first we have a judgment card that's come out. And the judgment card usually is somebody coming back. We're going to dig a little more. We want the energy for Ronnie O'Neal for March the 18th of 2018 at 8 p.m. He is in Tampa Bay, Florida, Hillsborough County, 13248 Pike Lake Drive. Alright, so now there we go. We have 3 cards. And on the bottom of the deck, the 5 of Wands, which is, violence. But not only violence, but vibes are all about changing things. It's even a line right here. I was just about to say, drawing a line. It's a line right there. Alright. So, the 3 cards that came out is the Judgment card, which traditionally would mean someone coming back, but this is sometimes I hate when I listen to too much of it before, because I am I reaching to see what I want to see, or am I actually seeing what I'm seeing? Hold on one moment. Alright, now like I was saying, the Judgment card is usually someone coming back, but I do remember hearing something about him hitting her with the gun while she was already down. You see the gun? That's it, coming out the top of his head. It's on his shoulder. It's a rifle. And it's somebody down in the ground. But I'm going to clarify this. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this scene. Spirit, this scene on the Judgment card with a person standing over another person. And now every motorcycle in the world wants to drive down this street. My apologies. Alright, Spirit, like I was saying, when it comes to the Judgment card and the scene on it with the man standing over the other person with a gun, is this a scene of the crime, or was it actually somebody trying to come back into Kenyatta or Ronnie's life? Was there an ex lurking around, or is this a scene from what happened? Clarify the Judgment card for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th of 2018 during the hours of 8 p.m. Let's see what came out. Alright. So what we have is meetings unfavored. So this would be this is between the 2 of them. This is a negative card, and not only is it a negative card, but it's a you can see the woman has her back turned. She doesn't want anything to do with him. So this is a scene between, this is a part of the crime scene. Alright, so let's move over now to this Tower card. which is, you know, the part where it all falls apart. And they're highlighting the fire. But it's not a really big fire, because only like this one section blew out. Everything else is still standing. So we have a small, almost controlled fire. Let's clarify this fire though. Spirit, why is Tower here for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th? What does this fire have to do with him? Why is the Tower here? Darn card. Why is the Tower here for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th of 2018? Why are you showing me the fire? Was this fire his idea, or was the fire an accident? Clarify for me what this fire is about. What was the purpose of the fire? Other than being another hostile act. Clarify the Tower in the fire for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th of 2018. Alright. So we have two. First we have the Magician, which came out pretty early in the question, which is, you know, the Magician is making things happen out of nowhere, unexplained. It's, you know, all of a sudden it's a door. Alright. And we have the Three of Swords, which is traditionally a heartbreak. It's a, right in the middle of this card, there's a flower. There's a, it's a flower. It doesn't look like a flower now, but this is actually a flower. But the way this knife is split in between it, it kind of looks like, someone got stabbed, like, in the face. In between the face. In between the eyes. So I don't know if that was one of the death blows, but they're showing me someone got hit in the face, like right in the middle of the face. Right in between the eyes. And this Magician card, other than someone doing the impossible, okay. Okay. Alright. Now, I don't know how much you all have heard about this case, but he was having like some religious undertones to a lot of his ranting. He was, you know, was involving God in a lot of it. And on this Magician's wand is a Star of David. And even though this one hand is down and you can't see it, he is pointing at it. And also this, I forget his little name, the messenger, Hermes, I think his name is. Yeah, Hermes and him both are pointing up to this Star of David. Alright. I'm going to clarify this Star of David really quickly. And to do that, we're going to use this one. Spirit, why are you clarifying the Star of David for Ronnie O'Neal? Was his religious rants and his religious beliefs having any bearings on this? We have two. Alright. And what came out is fair treatment and good transformation. And these are both positive cards. But I understand what they're saying. Like in some religions, some of them over in the Middle East, or maybe even some in America, I don't know. But they have that what's called honor killing. And that's what I'm hearing. They're, you know, this fair treatment is like some kind of a honor killing angle to where he felt like I don't even know if they were legally married, but he was trying to act like it's his right to, you know, end their lives because of some kind of dishonor. And this good transformation will make him, I guess he gets to be a martyr now. He gets to have this good transformation. Alright. Now, next we have the Three of Swords again. Now, we just had a Three of Swords come out over here when it was like the split in between the eyes. But now we have another Three of Swords right next to it as one of the main cards. They're showing me the arrows. Like, okay. I'm trying to get it straight to say it once. Okay, so there are yellow arrows, yellow tipped arrows, and there are red tipped arrows. And there's only two crossbow things. She has one and he has one. So the arrow that's in her is red, and the arrow that's in him is yellow. But if he can catch her before she's hitting the ground and he still has a crossbow, and the bad guy didn't have a crossbow, he shot her. He shot her with his own crossbow, but it's holding her and crying out. I'm going to clarify this. I'm going to use the Tarot in Wonderland for this. Spirit, when it comes to Ronnie shooting people and then crying about it, what is the point in this? What is the point in him being the killer, but then also trying to act like he's somehow defending himself against the killer? Why is he trying to be the victim and the assailant and the martyr all at once? Clarify this Three of Swords and these different arrows for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th of 2018. How is it that he is catching her before she hits the ground, or also being the person who inflicted the wound? Clarify the Three of Swords for Ronnie O'Neal on March the 18th of 2018. He is in Tampa Bay, Florida, Hillsborough County, and we are at 13248 Pike Lake Drive. Alright, and what came out is the Knight of Swords. Now the Knight of Swords is very courageous, and I guess you could say valiant. But the Knight of Swords is also a spy. And not really so much as a spy, but kind of like a like somebody who wants to take over a situation, just kind of lay back and peep out all the weaknesses and then strike where you know it's a weak spot. Let me clarify the Knight of Swords for him. Shoot. That was quick. Let's see. Alright, Spirit, why is Ronnie O'Neal showing up as the Knight of Swords? Why is Ronnie O'Neal showing up here as the Knight of Swords when it comes to being the perpetrator of the crime? Alright, let's see what came out. Alright, so what we have is protected. But what I'm hearing is this is, he's being the perpetrator and the victim because this is all part of the alibi, all a part of his story. You know, it was like creating your alibi as you go along. So it locks it in. The person can say, well, you did hear me say this, or you seen me there. It's like, a way of trying to mix in his false facts with the real facts. And since they're all tightly woven together, it gives him like this sense of security that there is like a timeline, I guess, on record somewhere of everything that happens. And he knows that, and he's going to use that to his advantage. Alright, so now that we got the first 3 cards out the way, let's get into some of these questions, because I have a few questions. Just a few. Alright. Let's go back to the emoji land for this. Now, Spirit, now that we are in Ronnie O'Neal's energy, in Tampa Bay, Florida, in Hillsborough County, at the residence of 13248 Pike Lake Drive. 13248 Pike Lake Drive. Ronnie O'Neal, Hillsborough County. Spirit, can you tell me what set off this rage? What triggered Ronnie O'Neal to prompt this act? And I know we were at 8 p.m., so let's get closer to the death. Now, she called 911 at 11:54. Take me to 9:30. About roughly almost an hour and a half from what happened. Spirit, at 9:30, what was going on inside of 13248 Pike Lake Drive? Was there something that triggered Ronnie O'Neal to do this violent act? What triggered Ronnie O'Neal, or what set off this? What set off this rage in him? And we are wanting to know about Ronnie O'Neal in Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay, Florida. 13248 Pike Lake Drive. What triggered him at 9:30 or before or shortly after that set him off? What was the catalyst for this murder? Alright. So the one that came on its own was the 4 coins. And the top card was the 6 of coins. So these are both money cards. Alright. So let's look and see. I don't know too much about their backstory, but they're showing me work clothes, like work boots and work gear. With this 4 coins card, they're giving me vibes like he had lost his job or was laid off in some kind of way. But see, the man still has on all of the work stuff. Like, he still has on his work boots and like this work harness thing right here, but no longer has the job. And the top of the deck card was the 6 of coins, which this card is capitalism. So I'm going to clarify it, but it seems like it could be a discussion or argument about someone losing or quitting a job or walking away from a job. We're going to clarify this one with the movie tarot. Spirit, why is the 6 of coins and the 4 of coins here? Why is the 6 of coins and the 4 of coins here for Ronnie O'Neal when it comes to what happened inside of 13248 Pike Lake Drive on March the 18th, 2018? We are at 9:30. What happened? What is this argument or this discussion about? Ooh, I've seen it. Alright, so the card that flipped over in there. Ooh, the Emperor. But this is not, what they're talking about, the Emperor here. You see, you know, this is one of the questions here. You see, we all know this is Tony Montana, right? You see right here, there's a big pile of drugs. And you know who doesn't like you to use drugs? Your job. So, drugs were involved in this conversation. I wonder which one of them were using the drugs. We're going to use the spider ticker to ask that question. That was actually one of the questions I had. So when it comes to the drugs and the lost job, can you tell me which one of them were using the drugs? Which one was using the drugs? Was Ronnie O'Neal high and using drugs? Or was Kenyatta Barron high and using drugs? Who was using drugs up in 13248 Pike Lake Drive in Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay, Florida? Which one of them was using drugs? Alright, let's see. So what came out is the good marriage card, and we have unfair treatment. So this leads me to believe that they were using drugs together. You see the way both of their hand is holding inside this ring? This is who was using drugs inside 13248 Pike Lake Drive. Both of them. And then what usually happens in these type of relationships, unfair treatment surely follows. It could be something like, how can you get mad at me for losing my job and we were getting high together, maybe? I want to clarify this unfair treatment. And we'll stay in the movie tarot for this. Spirit, can you tell me which one was being unfair, or which one was treating the other one unfair? Was Kenyatta Barron being unfair in judging, or was Ronnie O'Neal being unfair? The card that flipped immediately was the Hierophant. And the Hierophant in this deck is the Godfather. So this would be the man for sure was being unfair about it. You know, this could be people like to walk down those same sides of the street. What's okay for you is also okay for them. So he was somehow being unfair and being judgmental about this drug stuff. Or maybe he thought that she was getting with one of the people that they were copying from or something. Alright. So that question voluntarily answered itself. Okay, so what triggered him was a conversation. Drugs was involved. Right, because he was screaming at the jury. I want to know, is he playing crazy? Or like, is this all a part of the act? Spirit, when it comes to Ronnie O'Neal's demeanor up in this Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County Courthouse. When it comes to Ronnie at this Hillsborough County Courthouse in Tampa Bay, Florida, his demeanor, his actions, his mannerism, his tone of voice, his affect, is this all an act, or does he really think he's a lawyer? What came out is the Strength card. So this is not an act. He really thinks he has a strong case. See, this is strength. He really thinks he has a strong possibility of getting away with this. He really thinks that he is, the prosecutor that convicted Jodi Arias or something. Okay, he thinks that he is doing this right. So no, it is not an act. And he's just getting started, Spirit says. Okay, so let's see, what's the next question? Right, I want to know, is this a learned behavior? Did he come from a violent home? Like, who wakes up and chooses violence on this level? Well, we know high people choose violence, but this is my own personal why. I want to know, was this a learned behavior? Spirit, did Ronnie O'Neal grow up in a violent household? When it comes to Ronnie O'Neal perpetrating and killing his longtime girlfriend and his own child, was this something that he's seen before? Is this a learned behavior? Did he grow up with violence? Who taught Ronnie O'Neal how to be violent? Alright, Spirit, I'm on look. Sometimes it'd be really anxious for me to look like, look, I'm looking. Okay. So, the devil jumped out here. But I'm going to say the devil taught Ronnie O'Neal how to be violent. The devil might have taught him how to use drugs, though. Because, this is the vice card. When this card pops out, we have domestic violence, drugs, gambling, porno, all the really bad things in life. So, the violence comes with the drugs. And the Six of Swords is somebody, moving away. But it's funny because I asked if this was a learned behavior, and at the bottom of this card it says the Lord of earned success. Earned success. So this is giving me vibes that somewhere in his past he's seen a man be violent and get his way and was rewarded for that violence. So maybe he somehow confused that and mixed signals and thought that depending on what you do and how you do it, there's something to be earned. I don't know. And lastly, the Eight of Wands. And on the bottom of this card, it says the Lord of the root of the power of fire. And this is one. The Ace of Wands, it does mean a one. But I'm getting that this is some violence. He's seen this type of violence, not to this extreme, but all the way from a cradle. Because his hand looks very small right there, don't it? And for some reason, when I first looked at this card, it was like a baby rattle. So we have a baby rattle, the devil, and earned success. So yeah, I think he grew up in a violent home. From a little baby on all the way up. And he's seen people get their way. Alright, let's see if there's any more questions. Right. The last question. Was there a romantic rival? Was Kenyatta on her phone? Was she texting, sending sexy pictures everywhere? Let's find out. And to do that, we're going to go back to the Omega Land. Now, when it comes to Kenyatta Barron and Ronnie O'Neal that was living in Tampa, Florida, Hillsborough County at the address of 13248 Pike Lake Drive, was there a romantic rival for Kenyatta's affection? Did she have another lover? And that's what started this. Was there a romantic rival involved in this? In any? Oh, caught it. Let's see. All right. And what came out is the Six of Cups. Now this card is fun. Good old fun. Did you know something about this card? There's only one girl. Even though if we count these canteens, it'll be 6 canteens because it's a 6 of cups. But that's irrelevant right now. There's only one girl on this card, but there are several. And even one in the back. Look at him back here looking. See this one back here looking? You can't see him looking. And she up here with all of these. So this would give me the impression that there was a romantic rival and he had peeped it out. Alright, we're going to leave it here. Again, I am Cleopatra Wallace, and if you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, because who knows what's going to happen next.